Hello Libra, welcome to your weekly reading, guys, and we're going to do one of my favorites. We're doing a release and a receive reading, Libra. So what is being released for you and what is something for you to receive? What energies are changing really for you, around you? Let's see, we're going to start with the Energy Oracle deck. Tell you, these release and receives have been something this week. Oh my gosh. Okay, I am not gonna say anything until I get all the cards out. I'm wondering if maybe the cards that are coming out for Libra, I'm wondering if like just all the changes and things that are going on in the world, you know, and being the ones that want to really keep balance in relationships and aspects of life and other people's as well. If you've taken on too much, let's see. I will tell you this, if you're having any, yeah, no, okay, let me just see. I think you're putting on a really strong, face for other people, and this, it's depleting you. Yeah, that's what I get so far from the cards that have come out. Yeah. Yeah, you guys, the cards that I see here, you're definitely, I feel like you're giving a lot of yourself to the point where even you've come right out of your own energy, it feels like. It feels like you've come right on out of your own energy, but that's going to be corrected. But when it corrects, it might cause some anxiety because it's almost like you've been suppressing and hiding your own anxiety with things that have been going on so that you could put on a strong face for others. But at some point, right, like you still have to look at everything that freaks you out. So the release here, the release is cornucopia with the stingray. Okay, the release is cornucopia with the stingray. The receive is anxiety and the snake. The underlying card in this deck is Deceit. Yeah, and then the underlying card in the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit, where we have the stingray and the snake, is the Elk, which is like a King of Pentacles energy for me. It does feel a lot like, you know, trying to keep the balance. Like you're in a cornucopia. You have a cornucopia. You had a cornucopia. You know, everything, the home is good, really, in a sense, and you have the food that you need. You have the things that you need. But the people being worried about it, and it's almost like you've created this fake, because this is the release here, creating, I don't want to say a fake backbone, because you do have one, but maybe an armor, almost like an armor on this backbone to keep you like the strong one here. I need to be the strong one. I need to keep the balance in the home here. I need to keep the balance with what I'm doing at work and what I'm doing here. You've taken on a little, I feel like you're too much. It's too much. It's really, it's too much. And the Deceit card, it's telling me, like, yeah, there might be some deception. I feel like it's really from your end. Like you're deceiving yourself about how you really feel about the situation. And you don't need to be so positive with everyone else because that's not really setting them up for success. Like, okay, I'm just trying to keep it like pretty simple. So let's imagine, like, let's say you have kids. And some kids are anxious, like they really miss going to school or they really miss their friends. And you say, well, you know what, it's probably just a couple more weeks. Maybe just a couple more weeks. You can't, like, realistically, it's not going to be a couple more weeks. So that's just an example. It's not necessarily the truth of your experience, but it's something like that. Try to be a little more realistic, I want to say. Don't try to hold so much up for others because you're bringing too much weight on yourself here. You're really bringing too much weight on yourself. The release here is the Father of Cups, which is the King of Cups, the Ace of Cups, and this is the Six of Swords. Like, it's like you're trying to force it into a better place. You're trying to be this deep, loving energy. You're trying to bring lots of love, lots of love, lots of love. Get this into a better energy, get this into a better energy. Where I feel like you need to have some realistic approach to, you know, being the leader, because this Elk card is a King of Pentacles energy. It is someone who's looking after the home and helping to look after the community and helping to look after, you know, whatever they do at work. But the Elk is balanced. So I feel very much like there's an imbalance here for you. And it's the release is coming. Like the anxiety in the snake, this is something for you. Like, this is your experience here. What is your experience in this right now? Almost perhaps being so focused on everyone else's experience with what's been going on around the world that you're not acknowledging your own experience in this. You're not allowing that to be real for you. Just having, like, I have to have these big broad shoulders, I've got to support everybody. Even if you need to wear that mask in front of like little kids or whoever's in your home, you need to give yourself some time somewhere where you can let the vulnerability come through. Because if you don't, your anxiety is just getting higher and higher here. It's going to come out. It's going to come out as anxiety. How do you want it to come out, and where do you want it to come out? Kind of the message. You know, it's interesting. The Oakman reading that came out on Friday, if you didn't see it, that is a little bit like this. It reminds me a little bit like this, like just having a lot of, you know, where is that anxiety going to come out? What outlet do you have for it? We all have to have an outlet for it somehow in some way. Even if, you know, things hadn't changed in the world. What is your outlet for your anxiety, or for things that you know you have to be strong about, and you have to be strong in a certain way for other people around you, so that they're looking at you. If they're looking at you as the leader in the home or at work in the community, you still need to have an outlet somewhere, because nobody can hold the weight of the world on their shoulders without, at some point or somewhere, or with someone, right? With someone that you can share it with. So the tarot cards that came out for the receive, it's your end, well, up to this. Well, the Chariot card, which is Cancer energy, but then we have the King of Swords and the Two, is it the Two of Swords? It's a Two of Wands. But this King of Swords here, there's your energy coming through finally. But it feels like with the Chariot and the Two of Wands on either side of the King of Swords, it's almost like your own feelings and emotions coming in at you very quickly. To a point. Like it just focused. It gets focused. And it's very hot and red and anxious, right? Well, and so is the anxiety card. There's all this red in the card. And then the Deceit underneath here. You know what's interesting is the card on the bottom is victory, or the card underneath the deceit is victory. So you might be deceiving yourself too. Maybe you're imagining that some sort of success too has to come a certain way. And if it's not coming that way, it's going to cause you anxiety. It's really going to cause you anxiety. The Hanged Man is what's at the bottom of the actual tarot deck that I shuffled out here. I know it's a little bat. He's a good little guy. He eats a lot of bugs every night. Otherwise, you know what? Like this little guy does. Maybe not in areas where there isn't malaria, but definitely I would say would probably help too. In like North America, all of the mosquitoes and whatnot that the bat eats really help drop those numbers down. And like heartworm in dogs, I believe, is carried in mosquitoes. So this little guy is very beneficial. So even if you're not living in a place with malaria, like you're still like those biting insects, this little guy helps that. So thinking about that too, it's the misconception here, because this little guy is getting a bad rap where it shouldn't be happening. Mankind is responsible for mankind, not for little animals. Or little animals aren't responsible for mankind, I should say. But the Hanged Man on its own in the tarot is about getting a new perspective, which feels like a really strong overall message here. Getting a new perspective. And isn't it interesting that his eyes are red? His eyes are red. And all the red that's coming in this reading, like it was really strong with the anxiety and the deceit card. Because victory is underneath the deceit. So the little Hanged Man, the little bat, lighting the eyes up in red is finally seeing what's making you anxious. What are you deceiving yourself about? Maybe it does feel like there's something that you want victory in. Feels like you're also having to be a very big, heavy support network for others. And by releasing the King of Cups and the Ace of Cups, this is almost, I see like this big swan pushing this cup through the water, like trying to control the emotions and the feelings, or trying to guide this, or trying to get to it. Where the Chariot energy in the receive is it's coming towards you, it's being brought towards you. Allowing it to be, just allowing yourself to be too, is how you can have victory. I'm going to focus on the present, like the receive here, the snake energy. I feel like it's somehow indirectly connected to the anxiety. It's in part of the receive though. So let's get the snake. What is the snake about? Oh my gosh. The Four of Swords and the Eight of Pentacles. Anxiety, again, work. That is coming out so strong. Like this is the second week in a row. And it's not obviously like unfounded energy. Like it's real. Like a lot of people have lost their jobs. And the Four of Swords is taking a break. So, you know, taking a break from your work. Maybe too, if you're working from home, try to, if you can, it can be difficult, try to make real hours for yourself here. Like maybe that's part of the anxiety. I was just talking to a friend who, you know, is working from home, and she works for the local police department and the HR department. And she said, like, I am working so many more hours right now than I would if I was in the office. Because if someone calls you or texts you or sends you an email, you just feel like they think you're not working, you're not answering it. So there is an element in so many different levels of how work is affecting people right now. And this snake, though, is positive energy. It is like, it feels like it's going around in circles, right? It's protected, though. It's protected. It's safe. It's okay. Whatever this magic energy is for you in your work, the snake does protect it. It is protected. So if there's been some sort of a pause, whether you've been laid off or it's just changed because it's in a different environment for you, it's still protected somehow. But the anxiety, I feel like the anxiety is going to come out in you somehow. The Knight of Wands, let's get more on the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands. And you've got the King of Cups is coming in. It's like there's something that you're not ready to let go of. The Knight of Wands. So the anxiety card is the Knight of Wands, the King of Cups, and the Fool. Remember, the King of Cups was over here and the release. I feel like, it's kind of funny, but I feel like we're being asked, many of us in these readings this week, to release a lot of stuff that we were working on. And things that we were working on, our approach to things, how we were doing different aspects of our lives, trying to achieve what we wanted. Because everything is so different now, it can't be achieved that way. Like, just to release that. The universe is trying to correct here. I really get that with the Chariot card. The universe is bringing energy in here. It might feel very stuck. But because your anxiety is still playing back about this King of Cups here in the release. So you're going to be anxious about it. I'm just preparing you. Everyone's going in and out of anxiety in different ways and different times right now. But it's coming in and it's like you want to take a leap of faith towards something that you have a lot of feeling and emotion for. But you also, I feel, have a lot on your shoulders, a lot on your plate. So is that feasible to do that right now? Is it really feasible to do that? The Deceit card is really important for us to look at here. The Deceit card is really important for us to look at. I've said it often too, when that card comes out, it's really so often it's about something we're deceiving ourselves about. And I do feel that here because victory is sitting underneath it. Victory is sitting underneath it. So what is this Deceit card for Libra? What is this Deceit card for Libra? Something that you can't see that's been cut out. It's definitely something that you can't get to. Maybe you don't think you can get to it, but maybe you can. Because that's the deceit, right? The Eight of Swords is like you're stuck, you can't move, or you can't see a way through it or out of it. The Queen of Swords is the truth, but sometimes it feels like things have been cut out with the Queen of Swords. And in the Hermit, it's not energy that's present for you unless you're the Hermit and it's just you going within. You might be deceiving yourself. Like maybe you feel like you can't go there, can't get to it. It's been cut out. That's something you have to kind of look at within, right? Because victory is sitting underneath the deceit. It's almost as if once you look within yourself, what is it that I'm tricking myself on? What am I fooling myself a bit about? I find a really good way to do that is to try to think of, now it's projecting, but if you feel that someone else is somehow responsible for some sort of deceit, look at that and then really try, but look at it and then try to look at what part you play in it. it's not easy. It's not easy to do that. And you have to sometimes do that in layers or sessions. It's not easy to do that. But then once you do that, you start to see the truth for yourself. And that's what's coming towards you here with this Father of Swords energy. That's all about the truth, clarity, understanding. And the Chariot's here to usher it in. The Two of Wands, it's like these 2 points coming together. Let's see what the Chariot is ushering in for you. The Five of Swords and the Knight of Cups. So the Chariot is ushering in something that feels like was pulled away from you or you had to walk away from. And it's cups. And that seems to be what you're focused on here. This is what, you know, you're being asked to release. Is to release this. Release this. And the Chariot is like the epitome of cup energy. It's Cancerian energy. It's so deep in the water energy. And it's coming through. It's coming. Get ready to receive it somehow. The universe is working on it, right? And we clarify it. And if there's that romantic gesture, like it's like something you have feeling for. The Father of Swords. There's some sort of truth here. Why is that flipped like that? The Sun card. Huh. Look at that. The Father of Swords is the Ten of Swords and the Sun. So something, this is very dramatic. Maybe this is too good to believe. I don't know. But it is very dramatic to jump from the Ten of Swords into the Sun. So this is like an ending. Finalizing something completely over and because of that, you go right into wish fulfillment and happiness and clarity. Right into it. To end something here. What that is for each of you is going to be different. What you need to end. I don't know that you need to end it. I feel like the universe is ending it for you. If you're feeling the anxiety now, like if that's something you're feeling now, this isn't in your future, you're already feeling it. It does also, I'm getting the message that this reading is telling you like the universe is correcting things here. The Two of Wands. Clarification for the Two of Wands for Libra. Look at that. There's your card. Justice. 2 points coming together somehow. With the Father of Cups and the Ace of Cups. This could be, you know, and then the Knight of Cups, it could be someone that you have feelings for. Trying to force something to happen. Somehow the universe is taking care of this. And here you come out with these 2 points. And I'm just getting the 2 points. You know, the Two of Wands can often also be about making a choice in partnership. So these 2 points are coming together with the Justice energy. The Elk. Yeah, see, oh, isn't that interesting? That's interesting. So the Elk here is the underline. It's like a King of Pentacles energy for me. It's very powerful. I mean, it's almost harnessing the power of an eclipse there. Really magic energy. Brilliant manifester. The card underneath that is the Swan. Which I'm finding very interesting because this is an oracle deck and this is a tarot deck. You see that, like the 2 different swans here. So there's something going on here with being very, very stable, trying to get yourself in a very stable energy. Because you can see the Elk is harnessing all this red. And that's what's causing the anxiety and the deceit. Right? It's like burning up inside you and it's causing all this anxiety, deceiving yourself. Once you harness that and you can control it and manage it, this balanced energy, I almost say it brings that Swan energy in. It brings it in. It's almost like, you can almost look at like a Two of Cups Swan here. Like there's one, it's equal. And it's cool, like there's no heat and fire there. So with that Elk, we had the Seven of Swords and the Page of Pentacles. very abruptly leaving that energy. I feel like you have felt like your very stable, strong energy has been destabilized a bit. And it's putting you back into starting again, like learning about things again with this Page of Pentacles. Because you used to have the Eight of Pentacles, or you're going to have it again. You are going to have it again, right? You are going to have that again. But it does feel put on hold. It's come up so much. This Eight of Pentacles with some sort of disappointment, loss, lost opportunity, whatever it has been for so many people. The Hanged Man. The Five of Cups. Yeah, there's something disappointing here. Something that you feel like was a missed opportunity. And I want to say, you know, I am getting the two messages about this little bat guy. That it is maybe talking about everything that's, the changes that have happened since COVID has kind of come into your area, wherever you are, and how that's changed. And it's made things feel like lost opportunities. I'm still looking at the Hanged Man. I want to see what comes out here. It's a lost opportunity. It feels like it. There's always a time to pick up those two pentacles in the back, though. Queen of Cups, Seven of Pentacles, Six of Cups, and the Knight of Swords. So now here's that Queen. You had the King of Cups over there, and now we have the Queen of Cups. And isn't it funny? Because she is wearing white. She is wearing white. I'm going to focus. And I felt like this swan on the back of the elk, you know, it's all white too. And then here's the Father of Cups. It's like a dual energy. If there's something that you've been separated from, that you have a lot of feelings and emotions towards, somehow it can come back, or you can come back to it. It's just like a reassurance. It's almost a reassurance reading. But I think to also look at how, the important message in this is how you're deceiving yourself about something. Deceiving yourself about some sort of victory that you can claim. Victory sits behind the deceit. That's all we've got to know, right? Victory is sitting behind the deceit. And then here you are charging forward towards something or someone from the past that's got to be reassessed, where there's a lot of feeling and emotion. The Chariot is under this little deck. It's coming toward you. Something is coming towards you. A situation, a circumstance, something is playing out. Let's get an advice card for Libra. Okay, first, I was told to ask what the cornucopia is, so I'm going to ask what the cornucopia is. I'm going to ask what the cornucopia is. What is this cornucopia that is releasing this cornucopia? The Six of Wands, the Eight of Pentacles, again, the Eight of Pentacles, the Tower, the Four of Swords, and the Star. So the cornucopia to me looks like you had victory in your work and what you were doing. There was a Tower moment that caused everything to stop. And then the Star energy is here. It's almost like a reminder to say everything is stopping for balance to come into place here. Because the Star is about having that balance. Having that emotional, spiritual, physical, mental balance. And when you're in that balance, you can manifest really good. You're like, you can make a wish on a star that's a feasible, a healthy wish, a good wish. Like, and because it's a star, like, it can almost seem like something that's you know, not real. But if you're in the right energy, it can be real. Release that. Stop thinking about why this happened, really. Because this is almost the story of that. The cornucopia. If you were having success at work, this tower moment came in with COVID, everything stopped. Like right after the tower moment, we have the Four of Swords again. We have the Four of Swords again, and the tower moment. What is your work to you? It's in the Four of Swords. It's something stagnant, stopped. You can't do it. But the star is sitting there. Everything is being like, it's a reboot. The system's being rebooted. You can't, you know, if your computer's being rebooted or if you're defragging, if you go on and do a whole bunch of other things or try to do what you were doing before, it's not defragging properly. It's not rebooting properly. Page of Swords is at the bottom. I think it's just like a really learning energy right here. Learning about yourself. There's something you're deceiving yourself about just to look into. Because it's holding your victory back. It's holding your victory back somehow. And there you go, Libra. That was an interesting reading, guys. Always helpful. Until next time, do be gentle with yourselves. Bye.